We are a little bit late because of the public hearing that preceded this that went a little long, so it is 5:47, and we'll start our regularly scheduled meeting with a roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Here.
Commissioner Barwick.
Here.
Commissioner Webb.
Here.
Commissioner Stecklin.
Here.
Mayor Absher.
Here. Would you all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I've got the honor of honoring a young man here this evening that is pretty special. And I would like to read a little bit of the biography that was put together. And then I'd like to tell you a story about Dylan, if you don't mind. Dylan Nally, a graduate of Marion High School's class of 2024, has left an indelible mark on the world of high school athletics. His name is synonymous with excellence, having shattered 6 long-standing Marion High School records and a remarkable 9 records during the 2023 season alone. Dylan's exceptional talent and relentless determination propelled the Wildcats to clinch their first ever IHSA Class 2A state championship in cross country, securing the South 7 Conference championship and the 2A regional championship along the way. Dylan's prowess on the track was showcased on the national stage. He was the highest Illinois finisher at the Nike Cross Country Nationals in Portland, Oregon. Moreover, his 2023 season was marked by an undefeated streak against all Illinois runners. Further cementing his legacy, Dylan earned the distinguished title of High School All-American. Dylan's athletic accomplishments are numerous, and these are merely a handful of the many triumphs and victories he has to his credit. Dylan's dedication to his community extends far beyond his athletic achievement, embodying the essence of a true role model. He volunteers with numerous organizations, including the Key Club at Marion High School, Swamp Fox Track Club, the Veterans Honor Flight of Southern Illinois, and additionally, Dylan established his own initiative, Shoes for Runners, which donated over $2,400 in running shoes to underprivileged students at Marion High School, and that ensures that these dedicated athletes have the necessary resources to compete at their best. As a remarkable athlete and leader, Dylan Nally embodies the spirit of perseverance and excellence. His achievements have not only brought pride to Marion High School, but also inspired countless young athletes to pursue their dreams with determination. Dylan's story is one of breaking barriers and setting new standards, a true testament to what can be achieved through hard work, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. And I'm pleased to say he is on his way after this experience to Indiana University, which is not too far from home. And hopefully we'll be able to see him here back often because of that. So Dylan, if you'd come up here, I'd like to shake your hand and maybe get a picture with you. I've got something, a very small token of our appreciation. And I'm fond of handing these challenge coins out. These are simply annual challenge coins. These are kind of like the modern version of the key to the city, okay? A little bit more pocket worthy though, a little bit more convenient to carry with you. So I hope you carry this to Indiana with you and remember your hometown. We're proud of you. Thank you for honoring Dylan. Now I want to tell a little bit of a personal story that I observed on my own, just real quick. And I got to tell this at a Rotary Club meeting last week. So Dylan gets to hear it and his family for the second time, but you all get to hear it for the first time. And I want to hear it again, so I'm going to tell it again. So at graduation, those of you that attended might remember that they had a little bit of a rain event, and the speakers of the class got preempted. And so the valedictorian, salutatorian, and such were not able to deliver their addresses. Some fast-thinking people that were attending there on behalf of the city and some other folks came up pretty quick and invited those students to come to this very room and be filmed by the Marion Star, to not only give them the opportunity, but to record their comments for posterity's sake. Now, when that was scheduled, I knew it was going to happen, and we had it all set up here for them to come up. And there were 3 speakers going to speak that day. So Rachel here, who's taking some pictures, as always, told me there was going to be 3 people. So I got 3 challenge coins. I had them in my pocket, and I'm ready. And I come in here, I'm all ready, and there's 4 people. I didn't have 4 challenge coins. So I was a little bit set back. And now, Dylan will be the first to tell you that he's not always had the #1 spot in his class. And I remember him saying that before, so I was somewhat perplexed. I was a little bit surprised. And so I kind of sheepishly, I met him outside the door, and I'm trying to ascertain, because I was out of challenge coins. I knew they were in the basement. It was going to take some effort for me to go get the 4th one. Just so happened I've only had 3 left. So I sheepishly approached him. I'm like, what are you doing here? Type of a comment. I said, are you speaking to your class? And he said, no, I'm just here to support my classmates. Now, he was the only one out of the class that I know of, and there may have been somebody else show up, 3 speakers and Dylan, but out of the 200 and some odd students that walked the class that night, Dylan was the only one that I saw that was here just to support his classmates. And I think that speaks very highly of his character and his drive. And so this is the statement that I'll tell you as we part. Where's your socks, young man? That actually was not the statement. That was not the statement I intended to depart with. It was just an observation. I made this statement at Rotary. I said, I know that we have all been very proud of your All-American status. That's very rare air for Marion, Illinois. And I know you get plenty of accolades on that, but what I submit to you and submit to your parents and submit to the public is that what I know of Dylan and his character, as far as these athletic abilities are going to carry him, his character is going to surely carry him further. So we are so proud of you, and I've got one more thing for you. This is a little bit of a surprise, and this you can't fit in your pocket. So the high school track team, as we are our cross-country team, won state, and we were erecting some signs. You don't look like Vanna White.
How's that?
So this is what's going to go up on 2 different spots in town. But this one, Dylan, is especially for you. And we hope you take that to your dorm room or wherever you go. And remember to come home soon and often, right? All right, thank you.
Hey, Dylan, can we still have a picture of you and all the counselors that we got? Can I go
If you make it big, you can buy some socks.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we want with your sign now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, come on up.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Anybody else want to come up and take one real quick before you?
I think the family was trying to take better photos.
Yeah, come on up.
Ready?
Good. All right. Good job, man. Keep safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It would look pretty cool. All right, next on the agenda is item number 4. We had a presentation from Dr. Glenn Pichard. He visited me a week or so ago and asked for this opportunity, which we're glad to hear his presentation. So Dr. Pichard, if you wouldn't mind, you can either turn that podium back this way or address the council or address the audience, whichever you prefer. But if you wouldn't mind, speak right into that microphone so he gets it on the camera there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I
bet.
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Councilman, for allowing me to make a presentation here tonight to you on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois. Let me say, first of all, I had the great pleasure of watching Dylan run as a freshman and sophomore, and the thing that I always loved about him as a young man was his humility. He's a great young man. Anyway, I've enclosed in the packet of information that I've given you 3 things which I will address in order. The first is a letter which points out what national research studies have shown and what my wife and I, through our Foundation for Children, have witnessed for over 15 years in supporting the Boys and Girls Club. That there are programs in character development which improves young people's behavior. There are programs in youth development emphasizing careers, education, healthcare, the arts, sports, and fitness, as well as life skills, build stronger, healthier children and stronger, healthier communities. Over 5,000 Boys and Girls Clubs throughout our country has proven this to be true. Secondly, I gave you a list of questions and answers which have been asked of me during the last 2 weeks as we began this campaign. The board of the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois asked me to chair a fundraising effort to raise $200,000 in the next 2 months before school starts, so we can begin programs in cooperation with the schools to get the club running again. As you know, the club closed last year due to problems that were not programmatic, but managerial. A sustaining federal grant application for $450,000 in operating funds was not filed on time, and that money was lost to the club along with about $200,000 of donations, which the club failed to follow up on and never received. That's why it closed. The club cannot apply for the federal grant as long as it is closed, thus necessitating the raising of the $200,000 in a short period of time. The value of these programs to a city the size of Marion, to our children and our schools, cannot be overestimated. In order to ensure that the clubs will be operated efficiently and effectively with sound financial management, I want to refer you to questions 8, 10, and 12 on the list of questions that I gave you. Question 8 says, do you get any grants? In the past, we received support from family foundations and local government agencies, as well as both federal and state grant support. In order to apply for similar grants, we will need to be up and running. Our new CEO will be making those applications as appropriate. The second question, 10, which relates to this. Can I specify which club I want to support? We really appreciate a gift to the general operations of the club as a whole, but if you prefer, we can designate your donation for a specific site. And question 12, how can I be sure of sound fiscal management practices going forward? During the closure, we have conducted a comprehensive review of all financial policies and procedures and are fully committed to the responsible stewardship of donor funds. In reopening, we will contract with an external accounting agency to handle all fiscal matters. In addition, we're adding another individual with accounting credentials to our board and finance committee. Rex Buddy, who just retired as CEO of SIH, is coming on the board. He's been responsible for some pretty big budgets over all the years. I have told the board that I will remain until they get on solid financial footing and advising and so on. I've had a lot of budgets in my time comprising hundreds of millions of dollars in my positions. We've never had, Mr. Mayor, one audit that ever showed 1 penny of mismanagement of funds or anything like that. So we're going to make sure that that never happens again. And as I said, it was just one of those things where the board was not adequately informed, and that those things happened. The third thing I gave you is a fundraising plan which I developed for the board in attempting to raise the startup funds necessary to reconstitute the club and get the academic, leadership, and service programs up and running by the time school starts. I'm very grateful for the finances both the mayor and the cities of Marion and Carbondale contributed in the past to form and sustain the clubs. But I must ask each city to become a major donor to help us reopen. I believe the benefit of a $50,000 contribution to this effort will be realized many times over by the community in improving the lives of our children. This contribution is nearly equivalent to the starting salary of a beginning teacher, but we will hire youth development professionals and train site directors from the communities and have the benefit of SIU interns providing employment to local people, not to speak of all the help the children will be getting each year. One other thing, Marion, like Carbondale, and Mr. Mayor, you brought this to my attention when we had a conversation. You have many people in the area making $18, $19 an hour. These are good jobs, but these folks can't afford the cost for childcare, if they can find childcare. And so the children after school can go to the club, and the parents can pick them up 2 or 3 hours later, you know, knowing that the kids are in a safe place, that they're getting mentorships, they're getting, you know, help in their studies and so on, academic improvement, and not have to afford the cost of very expensive childcare, which may not even be available to them anyway. So we think there's a lot of benefits to the donation that we're asking for. I'm going to ask the same thing tomorrow night at the Carbondale City Council meeting. If you folks can help us with this, we think the benefits will be manifold to the city many times over. Some of the, Russ is here tonight. Russ is right here. He's the chairman of our board, and I'm sure he will agree with me that we will do our best to find the youth development specialists that work with the children in Williamson County and Marion. Those positions will pay somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 a year, and a site director pays about $40,000 a year. So a lot of what you give us is going to be plugged back into the community in the way of hiring people to work here. We have to hire qualified people, obviously, but we'll do our best to make sure that there are people from each county that are hired in the clubs. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, are you still going to use the facility in Carbondale as your basis?
Sir, the old building that they have been in for the past 15 plus years is going to be torn down. It was the old high school. It has all kinds of problems, so that won't be used. For the next foreseeable future, we're going to be using the big facility that's in the Methodist Church there. They've agreed to let the Boys Club and Girls Club there use that facility. And then, of course, you have a facility here that you folks were so instrumental in renovating. That's a great place for the children here in Marion.
Okay. Another question I had, you're asking us for 50,000, right?
Yes, sir.
And that, what happens in the next 2 months if you don't reach your goal of 200? What happens to the, let's say you get 150, what happens to our 50, I guess?
We're going to reach the goal. I'm absolutely confident of that. If the two cities will give us half of that money, then we already have some people that have committed to giving us $25,000 donations. So we're going to reach the goal. I have every confidence of that. We've got a month and a half left. We haven't really talked about that, but that would mean the club wouldn't survive if we didn't reach the 200,000, and it means if we don't reach the 200,000, we can't open and apply for the federal grant.
Sure.
So,
And is
Commissioner
the,
Patton, I'm confident that we can do this. If you look at our fundraising plan, which I gave you there, you'll see that the board is totally organized on goal 4. We have organized 6 teams, and we have over 350 potential donors that each of those teams are trained to ask. Now, it's going to be very difficult, to be honest with you, because we do have the cloud hanging over our head from last year. Everybody understands that. But I'm absolutely certain that given the whole board working on this at one time, we're going to get it done.
and one final question. I think you had mentioned, or I saw somewhere, where you had raised, or you applied for the grant of $450,000. Is that a yearly application process to help fund the operational expenses?
It has been historically, hasn't it, Raj?
Yeah, that's federal money.
Yeah.
It comes through ISBE, or ISBE is the one who disperses that money.
Right.
Yeah.
That's for our programs in the schools, and that's called a 21st century grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not eligible unless we are doing the work.
Unless you're up and going, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Patton, I want to say that there was never any question about the programmatic effort of the Boys Club and Girls Club. The kids were getting everything that it says here in the way of the programs. It was just, we just let down on seeking the support that was out there that we had traditionally gotten for years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know there's people that have asked me, and it's one of the questions here, about the CEO and whether there was going to be retribution or anything from that. I can't answer that. There is an ongoing investigation with regard to that one particular person. I'm being told that they don't think it was anything, and that there would be charges levied against. It was mainly just the failure to do the work, get the job done.
Thank you.
And the 50 is a one-time, you're asking for a one-time
Yes,
donation,
sir.
not an annual one, right? Just to clarify?
Yeah, this is a one-time thing to help us get to the 200,000 goal, Mr. Mayor. Down the road, the most important thing that we're going to do is hire a CEO that has financial management and fundraising background. And that person is then going to be responsible for contacting whomever needs to be contacted in the future, but primarily writing for those grants. There were $451,000 left off the table and $200,000 in donations that were not followed up on. And that's what that person's job is going to be. That will sustain the operations of the club.
Okay.
I believe the payback to the city, Mr. Mayor, will be great for you. It's a great club. I've looked at all the research of the clubs, and I've met twice now with people from the National Boys and Girls Club, and they are committed to getting behind us and making sure that the operation goes smoothly and so on. So we've really tried to cover our bases from top to bottom.
What are the age groups, Lynn?
Russ, you want to speak to that, the age groups?
Sure, so potentially we can serve from kindergarten all the way through high school. That's not where we're going to start.
Okay.
Where we ended was 19 years of service in Carbondale and about a year and a half here in Marion. We won't be able to start there. We'll have to start at the bottom, serve high school students, then junior high students, and we'll expand that program.
Okay, thank you.
Although we can't say with certainty because people have to meet qualifications and so on, but there will be a site director hired here after 6 months That salary for the site director is around $40,000 a year. And there will be at least 2 youth development personnel hired, and those people make $16 an hour. They work on an average of about 4 hours a day. And so that's money that will be coming back into the city or the county from our funds. We're not trying to posit this, Mr. Mayor, as an employment opportunity, but the fact of the matter is there will be people hired with Boys and Girls Club funds, and it will be sort of equivalent to what we're asking for.
Okay. I want to I'm not sure I heard what you said correctly or if you meant what you said.
Okay.
So I'm going to clarify one thing, just as a factual matter. You said you all, meaning I took that as the city had it, what's my word? Remodeled, I think, that facility. The city to date has not participated financially in Boys and Girls Club. This was a passion project early on of mine, personally. So just to make sure there's no confusion, we have not donated any money.
And Mr. Mayor, I know what your commitment was to that, and I'm here to thank you. And also, that never could have been done without you.
Well, that's not what I was getting at.
I know that,
I'm just saying, I don't want these guys to think that we're doing it again or anything like that.
Right.
So, okay, we don't have an action item on this. We actually were supposed to discuss this under that action item. Can you stay? Can both of you stay? Or if you need to leave, Russ, could you stay if we have
No,
any
I can
questions?
stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 5, public comments, audience to visitors. This is subject to a couple of ordinances as listed on the agenda that are available in the rear. I'm sorry? Under this section?
Public comment.
Okay, I wasn't done reading yet. Hang on, young man. Those ordinances are listed on the back of the agenda. Is it
Attached to the
agenda?
back.
Attached to the back of the agenda if you have one. If not, they're in my far right corner, your far left in that chair. So, all right, young man, now it's your turn. What's your name, please?
My name is Banks Gordon. I just wanted to start by thanking all Marion workers, whether they're police officers, first responders, firefighters, you guys. You continue to make this town very, wonderful for people like me to live in, and I am very grateful that I live here. On June 1st, I was with my close friends, and we decided we wanted to hang out at Ray Fosse Park, like any other fun evening activity, late evening. And, we were having, fun, but there is a group of like teenagers, young adults that were at the park that were continuing to harass me and other of my friends. And, it bothered us quite a lot. They were saying very vulgar, inappropriate things. But so, I took to Facebook, kind of asking if anybody had heard of any kind of group that bothers people around Ray Fosse, just kind of, give it to my attention, because I just kind of wanted to see if this was just like a one-time thing or if this had happened multiple times. And I, had heard of people that complained about them, whether it was staying after park hours and, being loud and disruptive to the neighborhoods around the park, or, underage drinking and underage vaping and all that stuff. And I just wanted to kind of come here and make it known that that happens more regularly than I think some people think. And I know that, police officers are trying currently really hard to, contain that area, and they're doing a wonderful job, because it's very hard coming from experience to contain people like these, because they just go from one place to another doing the same disruptive things. I just, wanted to make it known, because I don't want this kind of thing happening to other people other innocent people who just want to have fun at a wonderful park, might I add. So, you know, whether it's maybe closing, like limiting the park hours by like 1 hour, closing it earlier, or maybe like more patrolling, because, you know, like as far as I saw that evening, there weren't many like patrollers in the area, especially like the area where it happened, which was kind of near the old park, the orange one.
Okay.
So, you know, I just want to once again thank everybody because they tried really hard, and I completely understand that. I just, you know, want things to, you know, kind of change for the better, because, you know, people are very negative, and I think, you know, when it comes to change, it doesn't happen if you don't speak up about these things, and that's what a lot of people are afraid of. And I just wanted to come up here, you know, speak concerns of just, you know, all of these people that bother other people around the neighborhood, or people like me who just want to have fun at a city park, and, you know, brainstorm ideas, whatever. But I just want to make it known change can't happen unless people speak up. So I, you know, hope that this can motivate other people to speak up about this. If, you know, you've seen other people around the park like this, and I just wanted to come here and make it more known that, you know, change for the better is, you know, in terms of these people, would be really good to see in the future for the city of Marion and, you know, our parks.
Okay, a couple of questions, if you don't mind, and some comments. So, and I'm not deflecting anything, I'm just for information. So the parks are run by the Marion Park District. It's
Yeah.
a different governmental body that's elected. So that your suggestion about changing their hours of operation is something that probably would be need, which we can do on your behalf, but you may be interested in going to one of their meetings as well to talk to them about this experience. My question was, did you know this group of people? Are they known to you?
No, I did not know them at all, you know.
Okay.
But, you know.
And this happened on June 1st?
Mhm.
Have you spoken to anybody at our police department about the experience?
I think my mom did, like my parents over back there did. I'm not sure. Yeah, we talked to the chief right there recently also, and that, you know, they said that, you know, they do have like a lot of tickets are, you know, thrown out over there. They understand all of the people that come and disrupt, and they do everything they can. And I was just, you know, wanting to come up here to kind of thank them as well, because I know they do a lot, and just make it known to, you know, you guys and stuff.
So Chief, this situation's known to you, this specific situation?
Not this specific one, but this general issue, yes, we are well aware, and we are doing everything we can to, like I told them, it's like herding cats.
Well, I know that there's a lot of cameras that didn't used to be there, and I'm wondering if we got some specifics from him, if we might not be able to identify a little closer who the people were.
When I kind of went out to Facebook to kind of see, I was able to take just kind of some pictures like of them
Oh.
in case they looked familiar, and I was able to figure out who some of them were because of the Facebook post. And most of them do not go to or live in Marion. I just, you know, wanted to kind of make it kind of so.
You said they don't live in Marion?
Most of them don't. I saw some lived in like Crab Orchard or like in Herod or something like that. And I just kind of wanted to come here and make
Okay.
it known.
Were these teenagers or young adults?
It was like, from what I could tell, range from teenagers to young adults. You know, from some of the people I knew, they were some recent graduates, like maybe 20-year-olds, and then there were some, I think, juniors. Like that was like the youngest I'd heard.
And were they drinking alcohol, that you can tell? Or were they?
We could tell that they were vaping and like smoking. Not sure about drinking, but we've had like complaints of like, you know, like I've heard of complaints from that like group that they, you know, drink like a lot in that area, like litter around it as well.
Well, I'm sorry you had that experience, and I'm glad you came to tell us about it. So, Well, I don't know what to promise you, except that we're more aware of it at this point, and I'm terribly sorry you had that experience. But I would encourage you to maybe go talk to the Park District Board
Yeah,
about this, or
I
if you
was-
want me to do that on your behalf, I'm happy to do that, but I don't know the specifics of your
No, yeah,
experience.
I was hoping to, like, sometime this week, talk to the Park District as well,
Okay.
since I know that they could do something about, like, my, like, brainstorm ideas.
Okay, well, we'll commit, yes, sir.
He has our number.
Okay,
He's been told, ever happens again, call immediately, we'll be right there.
okay.
Yeah.
Please do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
They're there to help you. And I don't know how to end the bad behavior except to make an example out of it at some point, so. Okay, thank you, Banks.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your awards, by the way.
Hi.
My name is Vivian Gordon, and I kind of just wanted to kind of speak also about the situation.
What was your first name again?
Vivian.
Vivian Gordon.
So Banks is my brother, and he's been openly gay for many years, and he has a lot of people that love and support him, and it's like sometimes I just feel like I feel like unsafe, and I don't know if he feels unsafe, but just whenever he goes like walking our dogs, I feel worried for his safety, because there have been incidents of him just walking around town and people rolling down their windows and calling him slurs and then driving away. So like then at the park, this girl was yelling back at us, and she was threatening that one of her 8th grade friends was going to beat him up. And so when people say things like that, I just feel like he's not safe. I did not know that girl, and I did not know the girl's name who she was yelling. But I do know that I just wish kind of he would feel safe or be able to just walk around without being harassed constantly.
Well, I wish that for him too. Nobody should have to endure that. So, thanks. I apologize to you.
That was all.
Okay.
Thank you.
One thing, you said something, I think you were maybe abbreviating something and I didn't hear it right. Something friends? But I was trying to, I'm not even sure what it was.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I might have just misheard. Yes, sir.
So my name is Pete Gordon. I am the father of Banks and Vivian. So I've taught years of public school, and the first thing as a teacher, if I don't know about it, it's hard for me to talk on it. So that is why we are here tonight, to just let people know, right? We're not, if there was a fix, we would already had it fixed. We realized that there's not just a quick fix to any of this. But it does seem like there's a pattern. I have driven through the park myself in the last 10 days, seeing the same group in the same exact spot. We drove there tonight before coming to the council, and sure enough, there's some litter, there's empty little shot container of little shots of alcohol. So to me, look, whether smoke, there's probably fire, there's probably some underage drinking going on there. There's probably some vaping going on there. And, as a school teacher, these are things that I try every day to fight against, the youth making bad decisions. We're never going to be able to totally curtail that, but Ray Fosse Park is a great park. We've invested so much money in trying to include everyone, whether it's, the type of playground equipment that have been put there. We want to continue Ray Fosse Park to be an inclusive place. I asked Banks and Viv, what do you wish about going up to the park? Well, I just wish we could go up there, play putt-putt, have an icy, play on some equipment, not get harassed by a bunch of high schoolers. I don't think that's too much to ask for our junior high kids to be able to do here in Marion. Do I think that happens every time? No. We saw people in the park walking their dogs, young kids, with their ices. This is not necessarily an every single trip to the park thing, but we want to make sure we're doing everything we can do, I think, as a community, to make sure those negative occurrences are minimized. So, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you Mom Gordon?
Yes.
Are you not going to come talk?
They covered, I think,
Okay.
everything, so thank you.
Well, I didn't want to leave you
No,
out.
I appreciate it.
Well, it was nice to meet all of you, and I'm sorry that you've had that experience. I'd like to get with you and the police commissioner. I've got a couple ideas.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda tonight, which is items A through D and sub-items. Is there anyone from our audience that would like any of these? I'm sorry, I did that backwards again. Anybody on the council want any of these items voted upon as a separate item? Now, anybody that's in our audience like any of these items removed from the consent agenda and made with a second or separate vote? Okay, hearing no objections, I would entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda as presented.
I'd make a motion that we accept the consent agenda, items A, B, C, and D as presented.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion or questions on any items or sub-items, A through D? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. New business, item 7, Commissioner Barwin.
I'd like to make a motion that we would approve the recommendation of myself and Chief Fitz to purchase a 2023 Dodge Durango for the K-9 unit, a 2025 Ford Explorer for the Investigations unit, and 5 2025 Ford Explorers for the Patrol unit. The total cost for all vehicles is $315,431. These are budgeted items.
Did you have a specific, oh, that was your motion. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll make a second. I'll second that.
Do you have comments on this item?
I do not.
Okay.
Just I'm here for questions.
Okay. Any questions about this?
The only question I had was the 25s and the 23s. Obviously, those are used cars, right? Are they?
No, they are.
Oh, they are not?
Brand new.
I'm sorry, not 25. 23 was my question. So those are brand new. That's a leftover.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on their lot right now. It's the only one they have in stock at the moment.
I understand that the Ford Explorers had been giving you a little bit of a problem. Are we kind of getting away from those, or has that problem taken care of itself and they've fixed that?
Blasphemy, Patton.
Huh? Sorry.
No, that isn't the issue. The issue is when we went looking for a couple cars last year, we couldn't get them. And the only thing available at that time was a Dodge Durango. So
Gotcha.
we thought, we'll give it a try.
Okay.
I'm not saying there's no problems with Explorers, but they cannot build enough for what the police demand is. And I don't know why they can't get that together, but.
On the 5 for patrol, I've searched within 200 miles. I can't find a police interceptor anywhere other than what Jim Hayes has already ordered.
So what is included in the Interceptor model? Is it a bigger engine, a package, different package?
Heavy-duty cooling, heavy-duty transmission cooler. I think it's bigger. It's a strengthened suspension too, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
It used to include, you could get the K9 air conditioning, the rear air conditioning for the K9. I think they've oddly discontinued that, which is problematic.
Yeah.
The Durango still comes with a rear air for the K9.
Yeah.
The Ford Explorers has no rear air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going and buying mine back and maybe selling it to.
Well, these vehicles do definitely need the heavy-duty stuff on them because they idle, and obviously if they go fast in a police chase, they need heavy-duty stuff, but it's the idling that kills them if you don't have the cooling system. So that's mainly what it is. Can't believe you said that about Explorers having problems. What are you thinking?
It's all I buy.
Those are fighting words right there. And we didn't say in the motion who these are being purchased for, but for my benefit, since I've been rallying and defending Fords, could someone please point out that we're not buying them from me?
We are not
Jim
buying
Hayes
them from you.
Incorporated, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
By the way, I've had nothing but Fords for a very long time.
Can't make
Yes.
up for it now.
Yes. Yay for me.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item 7B is related, I believe.
I'll have to make a motion to approve the recommendation of myself and Chief Fitz to purchase police emergency equipment for the newly purchased vehicles at a total cost of $76,131.91. And these are budgeted items also.
I'll second that as well.
Okay, any questions on this equipment to outfit these cars?
Nope.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay.
Are you wanting to speak to us after this tonight or tomorrow?
It could wait until the morning if you needed to leave, or
It's up to you, sir. I'm at your disposal here.
are you our muscle here tonight?
Why, I hope not. You're in trouble.
Were you planning on staying till the end of the
Yes.
meeting? Okay, well, I'll just mention to you after it's not brain surgery.
Very proud of that young man for coming up here talking to you about that.
Yeah. Well, I've heard some rumblings of, some bad behavior and stuff, but this can be fixed. We just gotta.
Seems like it runs in waves at Fossey Park. I
It
mean,
does.
I've lived there since second grade, probably within a two block radius of the park. And I see it come and go. This year, it seems to have fired back up. I mean, I've been out in my side yard yelling across the yards at some of those kids over there at the concession stand area. I mean, it's, like you say, it runs in waves.
We've written numerous citations to these
Yeah.
kids there, and it doesn't seem to faze them
Yeah.
one bit. And like this young man said, most of them don't even live here.
Yeah.
So,
I told them to go home and stir up trouble in their own park.
right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8, John?
All right, do you want to talk about this, Brent? Yeah.
We have located and are actually currently renting this piece of equipment for entry and exit out of some of the deep tanks that we have. And we've used various methods and winches and things like that going over the side. But really, the only way to get into a deep tank is with an extension ladder, and to not be harnessed in with some kind of safety mechanism is potentially very dangerous. So we've tried different ways, but we've actually located something that was specialized for this type of use. And it's sitting down at the wastewater treatment plant right now. We're using it to get in and out of the tank. And the guy said it's wonderful. There are 2 people can be attached on this thing once, and there's also a retrieval system in case something happens in the bottom of the tank. We can easily retrieve an injured employee. With that said, we're renting it right now. Purchasing this equipment seems like the next logical step. We had, Todd had budgeted some money for a different piece of equipment that can wait, a sludge spreader type piece of equipment. And I believe that the water and sewer departments can split the cost of this. And with that said, it's not necessarily a specifically budgeted item, but I think this definitely takes preference over anything else we need to buy for the future safety of our guys.
When we have to rent one, you said we're renting one right now,
We're
which is
renting
why,
one right now.
what's that cost?
That rent was expensive. I think they're giving us, it was more than this, but I think they're going to give us a credit of $1,000 for that, but the rental of it was, I think it was $4,000 or $5,000 to have it for the month. So
Is this something that the street department can use on occasion, or what's the reach
we
of this
talked to
thing?
Doug about this. Anytime you're working inside of a tank, that's our primary concern, is down deep, trying to access it from an extension ladder. That's our concern. Every once in a while, we are up on a building, on a roof or something. This would extend up to support somebody that's up doing that type of work. And probably, yeah, we talked to Doug a little bit in the street department, and he didn't, and nothing came to his mind quickly, what he could use this for, but I think once we've got it in use, I think there will be other applications for this.
The one that you have is the one we're gonna be buying, or are they sending us a new one?
Well, yeah, that would have been ideal, because they charge freight to deliver this one, but they wouldn't sell us the rental unit. I don't know if that's a liability thing, that it's already in use. They want to sell us a new one, and they want it to come to us as a new unit. And it's portable. We can, we have things off-site that we use this for, the stations that are all over town. Those are very deep. Sometimes we do have to get down in those. This system would support all that.
And this just runs off a 12-volt battery.
12-volt battery, yeah. Yeah, there's no engine or anything on it.
That's
There
my
are solar
concern.
panels that are mounted on this thing to keep that battery charged. You see that a lot in some of these dump trailers. You see guys pulling with their pickup trucks. They've got a hydraulic motor that's run by a 12-volt battery, keeping it simple. There are things, attachments to this that you can manually evacuate somebody out of a trench or off of a building. There's a manual override, so it's pretty versatile.
What's the timeline on getting this?
I think I thought it said, maybe that was in the email I had, I didn't include it, about 4 weeks. We're finishing up a job with the one we have rented now, but we're continually doing maintenance down inside tanks that we need. We need the proper equipment to do it. Like I said, the fire department's assisted us in many ways over the years, but this is just a very unique piece of equipment for doing what we're doing.
Do we know what the capacity is as far as lifting?
It is probably in the specs, Doug, but I don't
Okay.
know that number in particular. Like I said, 2 people can be attached to the harness to be lowered and raised out. So I'm assuming, a 250-pound guy.
Yeah.
I would say it's something in that range. I can look into that.
Yeah.
And then the third part of that is the evacuation, emergency evacuation.
I was just curious if the adjustable height up to 34-foot max, it might be something that we could use to set equipment, or
Possibly. I mean,
like I said, I don't know what the maximum poundage is, but I doubt it would be a whole lot.
Change street lights and things like that too.
Yeah.
Washing the windows out here.
Yeah. And then let me sign up for that, John.
Yeah.
It says the maximum arm reach 9'9". Is that distance away from the unit?
Distance away. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, the unit does have some supports, as you can see them in the picture.
Yeah.
To stabilize it.
Yeah.
But the maximum they're saying is only 9 feet away from it.
Yeah. So you'd have to be at least somewhere around 10 feet for it
And
to
there's
work
some
right.
training that the company did when they brought this down to tell us, exactly what those criteria are that they can operate in.
So it'll extend below grade too then, am I understanding?
Well, yeah, it'll extend up over the side of the tank. We have this one positioned outside of a concrete
Okay.
tank, and we're going down, and the tank's 24 feet deep, so
If you had a manhole, you could go down in the manhole with
you
it?
could. Yeah, we've got some other devices for, small things like
Yeah.
that. But things where it's harder to reach, or if you're going over a fence to try to support somebody, something like that. Like I said, the water and sewer will definitely split the cost of this. Todd's taken some equipment off that he had budgeted for in the range of, I think, $40,000. So we'll just split the cost of this with the water department, easily paid with operating cash.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to make a motion then to approve the purchase of an X-Series 1250 grabber fall protection for $65,162 from EFP.
I'll
Second.
that. Any other questions, concerns?
Can we paint it blue and gold? Or does it have to be orange?
Has to be orange.
Okay. I'm just trying to carry the
Safety
colors.
first.
I think it's got a strobe light on it too. You can't take that off.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. All right, under item 9, we've got 9A. You see a list of residential TIF 1, 2, and Hub TIF grants that are included in your packet. And again, I know I asked, Cody, where you at? I know I ask this every time. These are all new this cycle, right?
These are just those that came in since last meeting. Real quick note, excuse me, in total thus far, assuming you approve these tonight, this will represent about halfway through the money for the residential programs in both 1 and 2. Okay, so we're halfway through the money. Total spend thus far, just including residential TIF 1 and TIF 2 grant programs, inclusive of about $370,000 of grant money provided by the city, is approaching $800,000 total spend within the district. So we're not quite producing half of the money being spent within the district and within the 2 districts, but I think it's safe to say at this point that we're going to exceed $1 million in total residential improvements just this cycle alone between residential TIF 1 and TIF 2, which is
$5,000 at a time.
$5,000
That's
at a
quite
time.
impressive.
Takes a little bit of work, but it's well worth the effort. So.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll just go ahead and make the motion to approve the fiscal year 25 TIF grants received through June 7th, 2024 as listed in your packet.
I'd second that.
Any questions on these? Again, it's all same theme: roof replacement, landscaping, fence, roof, windows, siding, gutters, awnings, all good stuff. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item B and C are related developers anyway. Cody, you want to tell us what, it's kind of odd, same developer, 2 different TIFs.
Yeah, you might have seen the sign around town that says Daniel buys houses. Comfort Homes LLC is Daniel. So he's buys up properties and flips them or turns them into rental properties. I believe both of these are going to be rental properties. And so the first one there, ordinance, get to the number
3959
is 611 Pleasant Court. And then the second one, 3960, is South Russell Street and 909 South Russell. That property is directly across the street on the corner of Russell and Hendrickson and Longfellow School. So I drive by that one every day. He's cleaned up the yard. It was real nice. That 3-way stop was hard to maneuver with some overgrown shrubbery, and cleaned up a lot as well. Don't have the benefit of seeing the inside of the property, but he spent, I believe, $80,000 on one of these properties and over $100,000 on the other property. So again, exactly the point of putting in these TIFs in the residential areas is to entice developers like this one to buy up those older homes, renovate them, and put them back on the market or turn those into rental properties. But again, being much newer than the shape that they were purchased in. So great use of TIF in this respect, in my opinion.
Okay, I move to approve ordinance 3959, a residential TIF 1 redevelopment agreement with Comfortable Homes LLC.
Second that.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Seems like Cody already explained 9C also, so I'll move to approve ordinance 3960, a residential TIF 2 redevelopment agreement with Comfortable Houses LLC.
Second.
Any questions on this one? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item 9D, we're putting that new road out there off of Skyline. That's going to require Ameren to relocate some utilities. You see that agreement in your packet here. This is a TIF eligible expense from municipal share of TIF. This is $76,466.72, so that's how much we'll be using out of the North Commercial TIF funds for this. And that's my motion to approve electric relocation agreement with Ameren, Illinois, and approving payment from North Commercial TIF funds as I just listed.
I'll second that.
Any questions on this one?
Just to be clear, I wanted to make sure that the 76,466.72 was the 47.7%, right? It, because the total cost is listed on the other pages, what was it, 160?
Yeah.
163.07. Yeah, as I dug a little deeper, I thought, because I thought we were going to get out of this for 36,000, but what it boils down to is 76 is already the 47.7%.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. We have done projects like this before. I like item 6 in the agreement that if there is substantial change, they've got to come to us. I can remember in years past there were surprises on city council night, and they were quite hard to swallow, but I do like the idea that they need to come to us if there's any substantial changes. I appreciate that. Hopefully there won't be. That's all I had.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. All right, 10A, responding to Boys and Girls Club's request, Dr. Pritchard. So I've got a few predicate comments before we talk about this. One, I'm a little bit gun shy of talking too much about this because I was so involved with it. It's such a passion project. I don't want to be overbearing when it comes to this, but I will say, obviously it was very distressing when the club went through the problems that it had, and as close as people perceived me to it, which I really wasn't at that point particularly, but your explanations of what happened was more explanations than I've heard in the last year, and I appreciate that. I'm sure anybody that listened to that is curious out of anything else. For me, having been more than casually involved in the club's initial financing, so to speak, or here in Marion, I appreciate that. I appreciate the disclosure of those things. So
I as well, sir. Thank you.
So, I guess my only question is, and kind of what Commissioner Patton said, really what I was thinking for the meeting, what I was leery of is I don't want to give, first of all, we do have a little bit left in ARPA funds that were unallocated that we could use this from, so it would not affect our general fund budget per se if you guys want to do that. That's not an argument to do it. I'm just saying that's where the funding could come from. You addressed this. I would be leery of donating the money, you spending it, not getting to your goal and getting to a self-sustaining point, which we've already said that, you've answered that. I just want to reiterate that, is that.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, I feel like I fully answered Commissioner Patton's question. If we don't make the 200.
What's that? Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, Aaron. Terrence is wanting to get you on audio as well.
If we don't make the $200,000, we have no intention of spending the $50,000. It'll come back.
Okay.
Because the club will be closed and we can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be dishonest.
Yeah.
All right. So second, which is a little bit tangent to that, is that if because the club operates in both towns, and I know you said we could, in theory, donate the money and it could be designated towards Marion. I don't want that to be, I wouldn't want that to be seen as political in some way of Carbondale versus Marion. That being said, if Carbondale City Council doesn't approve $50,000, then by definition, we're sort of, our 50 is kind of going both places. So without being too heavy-handed with that, what if we made our, if they wanted to, would that be an out of order, I don't know how to put it, condition?
pressure on Carbondale.
That Carbondale also donates $50,000 so that we're not kind of pulling both operations with our donation, so to speak? I know what you said, you got to get to $200,000 somehow, but from our standpoint, I'd hate for Carbondale City Council not to participate in that, and Marion's does. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, I understand that. I have had discussions with Mayor Harvey about this, and her only, at this point in time, she reminded me that they're gonna have to spend $500,000 tearing down the old building. And it might be difficult for them, but she said, talk to the individual council members and see what their thoughts are and present what you think is your need. And that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna make a case for the $50,000, and I believe we'll get it. It's all I can do at this point in time to make the best case I can. Certainly an investment back into the community, and I believe we'll make it, but there are some hard feelings with a couple of board council members there about what happened last year. And that's presented a little bit of a problem for me in talking to the council members. Especially since I don't know what the ultimate result of the investigation will be pertaining to the former CEO.
Okay, so if, can we put it in such a way that if these guys, I think I've made my tell that I support this, but that's because I just think it's a good addition to the community. But if we do that, we get our money back if you don't get to the 200,000. But if Carbondale doesn't come through with their 50,000, can our 50 just go to support the Marion Club? So that it's not being split between the two towns? Because tearing that building down is not that's a problem. Yeah, $500,000, I can see that being a big problem. It has nothing to do with supporting Boys and Girls Club at this point. It's a completely independent, has to be done issue anyway. So that's where and again, I'm trying to support both. I want both to succeed, but I'm just having a little bit of heartburn in sending half of our money to Carbondale if they're not going to reciprocate. Does that make?
No, it makes sense, Mr. Mayor. As I said, I'm going to do my best to convince Carbondale that they need to come forward with their share of this. And I think they will. I've gotten positive responses from all of the members of the board that I've spoken to, or the council I've spoken to, except one so far. And I've got one more to talk to.
How many are on their board?
Well, there's 7, I guess.
Okay.
I have a question. If you can't get the commitment from both cities, or you can't get the money raised that you need, are you willing to only open one, the one here in Marion, and not the Carbondale, if you can't raise the money for that, or is it two has to be together?
Well, Commissioner Barwick, it's my understanding that when Marion put forth the proposal to form a club, that the national organization advised that it should be combined together as one Boys and Girls Club for Southern Illinois. And that's what they recommended and pushed, because they said too many clubs out there, dilute the possibility of any club going forward financially. And so they made that proposition, and that's what went forward. My feeling is that in time, there will be offshoots of this club in Heron, in Carterville, and Johnson City probably, if they want their own club. We'll find a way to support that, okay? But it will all be part of the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois, and it will all be run through this area, this club.
So both or none?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the way it was chartered, you know, and so that's what we've got to stick with. Yeah, and, you know, Mr. Mayor, I can't answer your question with absolute certainty because I haven't presented to the council over there yet. But I'll do everything, and I've got conversations lined up tomorrow with a couple of them. I'll do everything to try to see that happens. And that's all I can tell you at this point in time.
Can we write you a note you can take
Well,
over there or anything?
You know, I understand if you folks want to condition your support on what Carbondale does, because that's fair, I understand it, but by the same token, I've got to go forward with this. I'm a volunteer here. I got to go forward with it because if I condition things on what happened last year or the year before, then, you know, I'm not going to reach the goal. I don't know what the investigation is going to turn up, and I do know there's at least one board member in Carbondale that's adamant about punishment being the happening. And I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, because I don't know what the investigation is going to yield with regard to this one particular person. But I know one thing, the programmatic efforts have never waned. They've been good for the kids. And that's what, you know, I've got to go forward with, is talking about the benefits to the children. Whatever's going to happen with that investigation is going to happen with it, and if there's a council member over there that wants to say, I'm not voting for this because I don't know, you know, what the outcome of the investigation is going to be, I can't control it. I would hope you folks could go ahead and make the commitment. I could use that in speaking tomorrow to the mayor and to the council, and with the hope of that being helpful.
I would think, this is just me thinking, hopefully we give 50, they give 50, and then you raise the other 100,000.
Yeah.
So if we give 50 and they don't, they're just gonna have a bigger job ahead of them to raise the 50,000 that Carbondale should have given from someone else. So our money will still stay in the Marion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say we lead by example.
Well, I've been too close to it, and I've been skewered for it in the past, so I'm just going to vote. Somebody else can make a motion if you want to. So you spoke up.
I spoke up. Okay. So I would make a motion to approve the request for a donation for $50,000 for the purposes of supporting the Boys and Girls Club of Marion and Carbondale.
I'd second that.
Any other questions or concerns? No conditions on that? Just-
Nope, no conditions.
All right.
Nope, no conditions.
Okay.
Just a lot of guilt if they don't do it, but I didn't say that. Sorry.
Any other concerns or questions?
Again, this is, if they don't raise the 200, then the 50 does come back.
Yeah, they've already
That's
said
right.
that.
We're not going to keep that money. That would be dishonest.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Good luck in Carbondale tomorrow night.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. Really appreciate your support for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Okay, item 10B, we have the opportunity to purchase a property that is adjacent to our Public Works facility from Sherman Minton. There's 3 tax IDs involved as listed here. That's my motion to approve purchasing tax ID 0624427001, 002, and 003. Also to include a box truck, walk-in cooler, and forklift, all from Sherman Minton for $105,000.
I'll second that.
Any questions on this? No. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin.
Yes.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Commissioner reports, item number 11. We'll start with Commissioner Webb tonight.
Yeah, the street department, we're still working on a lot of brush removal and cleanup from the recent storms. Doing drainage and tile work on Stockton, Highland, Tamarack, and Lauren streets. Doing sidewalks on Bentley Street and White Street. We're doing drainage, other drainage work on in Colonial Hills, Folgers Lane, Dewdrop, and Non-Fair. So, or excuse me, on North Fair. Like you said, we get a lot of drainage complaints, so they're all over. So we're getting ready for the asphalt program. Look like it's going to start the week of July 8th. So we're looking forward to getting that project started, and they'll have some flagmen out there. So we just ask that the public obey the flag and look out for the workers. So as far as the cemetery, it's looking great out there. We did have 10 burials in the month of May at the cemetery. That's all I have.
Okay. Just to be different, Commissioner Patton.
I am good. I should have something to present to the council here in the next few weeks as far as payroll and some software issues, but that's future coming. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay. Mr. Barwick?
Yes, from the fire department for the month of May, we had 11 100 series fire calls. We had 11 300 series rescue and EMS calls, 17 hazardous conditions with no fire, 9 service calls, 11 good intent calls, 26 activated alarms, 1 severe weather and natural disaster alarm, and for a total of 86 incidents. And for the month of May, on the fires that we did have, we used 22,847 gallons of water. Marion Police Department, for the month of May, there were 24 city ordinance violations, 300 traffic citations / criminal citations, 22 warrant arrests, 328 incidents reported, 142 traffic accidents with 4 DUIs. 142 traffic accidents and 4 DUIs. Month of May, there are 1,852 dispatched calls, 1,982 911 calls, 4,424 non-emergency calls, and 147 ambulance calls. Narcotics Department, for the month of May, 183 citations were issued, 88 arrests made, 3 warrant arrests, 21 pounds of cannabis seized, 67.2 grams of methamphetamine seized, 19 grams of fentanyl, 29 grams of a controlled substance, 2.1 pounds of mushrooms, 1 package interception, 9 search warrants, 6 weapon offenses, 12 alcohol offenses, 8 controlled purchases, $6,127 United States currency seized, and 1 vehicle seized. And that's all I have.
Mr. Stecklin?
Okay, since the last report, the water department reporting 4 water main breaks were repaired, 10 services were updated, 2 fire hydrants were repaired, and 3 new water taps installed. Water departments also started doing landscaping lawns, which may have been damaged due to some of those leak repairs. A couple of things, over the weekend, City of Chicago had their Blues Festival, which featured the Grammy Award-winning artist Buddy Guy. For those of you who remember, he was here about 18 months ago, just to show you that we get some great Grammy Award-winning talent here in Marion, and we're lucky to have such a great facility. We've also got Miss Illinois this week. That brings in hundreds, if not thousands, of people to town for the 2 or 3 day, I think, total. Till Saturday. So it's a big thing. They're staying in hotels, eating at restaurants, all kinds of stuff. So If you get a chance, go out and support that. And that's all I've got till trivia night next time.
Yes, trivia night? No.
Not tonight.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Okay, I
Super.
don't have a report. Anything to come before the council and miscellaneous? Chief, you have anything?
I just want to remind or inform the citizens in town that the Oliver Anthony concert is Friday night at Mountain Dew Park. They are expecting probably a minimum of 8,000 people. So that area will be pretty congested, at least at 2 times coming and going. So if people are going to go in that area, maybe find an alternate route.
Do we have extra staff on duty,
Yes, so we do.
including
As well as
ISP?
Including ISP and Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Anyone else? We do not have a need for a closed executive session for this meeting. Okay. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn. Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay.